You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
There's the music, and I almost don't know what to do with myself. It's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet here. Actually here to help you with your pets, like this guy sitting across from me.
Hi, I'm Brian Donovan, and I pulled a hammy yesterday kicking in Pelosi's door.
Oh.
Too soon, right? It's too soon. It's too soon.
You know,
It's too soon.
it's like,
Yeah.
photograph it. What do? You don't photograph it.
You don't photograph it.
You don't videotape it.
You don't videotape it.
And then you don't tweet it out.
Yeah. But you know what you don't also do?
Yeah.
You don't break into one of the most secure buildings on the planet and expect you're going to be okay.
It's I mean, it's not like we live in North Korea or anything, but I mean, you smash in the Capitol building windows and jump in.
Yeah.
Might not end well.
It might not end well, yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah, it's a little soon. It's a little soon.
It is.
Sorry.
Animal Talk, helping people with their pets. And I'm Jamie, making sure everybody has a good time. Who's pushing my buttons today?
Sam.
Hey, Samantha. It's like we put the band back together.
You know what? I think it's... I apologize.
Sure.
But I don't know how to conduct myself on the radio. It's been so long
I know.
on the radio.
We had
podcast.
Cesar Milan while you were gone.
I know. How was that?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's like into birds now.
Okay.
And it's like he had an aviary in his house, and it's like the whole interview is just like tweet, 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 tweet. It's
So
like,
is that like his thing now? Birds? Is it?
no.
Yeah.
It's still mainly dogs and dog training, but
Yeah.
he's got a penchant for birds as well now, and he's got a toucan. Would you
Really?
want to have a toucan?
Oh, of course.
That
Who wouldn't?
big beak
Yeah.
kicking around. But yeah. So I was wondering, it's like, and I was like on his on Facebook, and he posted something, and the picture is like 5 birds hanging out, and I'm like, well, that's what that noise was when we were talking to him. It was like, holy crap! But yeah,
So how did
he
he treat you? How did he treat you?
Always great.
Yeah.
He's always wonderful. So, but yeah, we've done a ton of stuff. We had a few authors on that you missed some good stuff. Man.
I know.
But now you're back, and we're going to help people with their pets. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And Samantha and I get to pick on you today.
Yes.
Really?
God, finally.
Yes. So
I miss Sam.
Yeah.
Gosh, I miss you, Sam.
Samantha, what is your latest artistic endeavor?
Nothing.
No? What's next? What is your next
What's
artistic
next?
endeavor?
I don't know. Well, there's not really anything going on right now, and I'm depressed.
Oh.
There's that. No, just
Well,
kidding.
I'm so glad I brought it up then.
Sorry. Now everybody's
I
silent.
sent her into a wheel of despair. I got nothing. All right. Well, hey,
I
sorry.
really do have nothing.
Sorry, Samantha.
That's okay.
Well, you're taking photo. You have a great 9 to 5 where you get to use your creative skills and
Yes.
take photos.
Yes. I do that.
And you do some amazing stuff.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Woohoo.
and your movie came out. I watched your movie.
Oh, yes, you watched
Did
it. I
you-
forgot to tell you about
it. It showed
it.
up on. Was it
Or
on
ask you
Netflix?
about
Will there
or
be
Hulu?
marshmallows?
Showed up on. Yeah. Will there be marshmallows?
Is that what it's
no.
called?
It made marshmallows.
Wait,
made
what do you
the,
mean? What do you mean, Sam's movie?
What did I miss?
Oh,
Dave-
my God.
David Arquette.
Okay.
Is it called You Can't Kill David Arquette?
Yeah.
You Can't Kill David Arquette. Have you seen that?
No.
There's a new documentary out called You Can't
And
Kill
what's Sam have to do with it?
David. She has like the second photographic credit on it.
What?
Cinematography.
Yeah, that thing.
Sam.
Yeah. So there's the main, the
Yeah.
credits roll, and it's like, lead cinematographer, and it's like, and then additional cinematographers, Sam Nork, and then like 6 other people.
Oh my.
And it wasn't alphabetical.
Yeah, and it wasn't alphabetical.
It wasn't alphabetical. That was
Wow.
product placement there.
That's amazing, Sam.
So,
How
yeah.
can you be depressed when you have something like that?
No, it's
here?
cool. I'm not depressed. I
It's-
mean,
it's very cool.
maybe a little bit.
So
but
You Can't Kill David Arquette, and she's got a 3-second cameo in the movie.
With a sign.
It's like at the one of the last fights. She's there and she's like holding up a sign. What's it? Something Arquette? What's it say?
I think it's We Heart,
We Heart Arquette.
Arquette.
Right.
but
This-
it wasn't. I did not hold it up during his match. It was after his match.
Well,
or
hey,
like
we're gonna
before.
break down the fourth wall here. So
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
When did this movie come out?
It came out like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
So it officially it was shown it was supposed to be shown at South by Southwest, which is the film festival in Austin.
Well, how
I
come you
believe
didn't tell
Austin,
us-
Texas, last year, but it got canceled because of COVID. Came out in August on video on demand, and then I think in December it came out on Hulu.
Came out on Hulu.
How come I
wasn't
didn't-
going to go buy it on video on
Why-
demand.
why-
I paid
didn't I know-
$20 for it.
Why didn't I know you were involved with this?
I think I brought it up once, and then I didn't know.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I didn't know anything was going to happen with it because I first knew about the project in 2018 because they came into the video store. The two directors and David Arquette came into the video store, and they're like, "Hey, we're filming a documentary." And they're like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And I'm like, "No."
Well,
not
how'd you
my
get
brightest moment.
Okay, how'd you go from there to getting involved in?
Yeah, so that was in 2018. They filmed a scene in my video store, which is not there anymore. It's a Dollar General now. Rest in peace. But I think they cut that from the documentary because I was absolutely terrible in it. I'm so glad they cut it out because I was so nervous and I was sweating and gross.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I do film stuff too, and I know how to work a camera and stuff. And then the director gave me his card, and he's like, oh, we might be back later. And then like a year later, he texted me. He's like, hey, we're back in town, and David has a wrestling match tomorrow. Do you want to help us shoot it? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So
They came back
Yeah.
to the
That's
family
so
video.
cool.
Yeah. So she's got this, she's got a motion picture movie credit, and it's, she's all IMDb'd out. So
Where do I find
Girl
this,
in Crowd.
Where do I find this movie?
Hulu.
On Hulu.
It's free on Hulu
Do you have
now.
Hulu?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
It
it's
is
on-
free on Hulu now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that is outstanding.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
proud of
cool.
her. It's like, I'm like, aw.
You know, you think
I
of-
just like, I'm
Ja-
so happy for you. I just say, it's just, you got to parlay that into cool stuff. 'Cause
Jamie,
I'm just happy.
when you think back, and remember we had to take her to all those dance lessons,
Yeah.
the braces,
Oh,
first
geez.
communion, all that, and she actually turned into something.
Yes.
Man, I'm proud of us.
First communion.
That little
Wow.
white dress.
Yeah, that was
And the
cute.
veil.
Yeah.
That was...
I didn't do that yet.
Oh, she was cute.
Still just cute as a button. But this is an animal show. Were there any
Yeah.
animals in that?
There were.
There
I
were.
think.
Did he wrestle a bear?
He has. There were chickens. There was a part where he had to,
He had to chase a chicken.
chase a chicken and catch a chicken. I think that was one
That
of the
was-
only animals. Oh, he also has a donkey. I think.
He's got some weird pets.
Yeah,
at
he's got
home.
some wild. He's got some wild animals.
Yeah. But we got some pet. I got some pet questions for you, Brian. I got some interesting
Yeah.
pet conundrums to try to solve here. So here's one. It's like, hi, all. I recently brought my adult
Hey, all.
dog, a 10-year-old Cocker Spaniel. I brought him to Canada to live with me. I was hoping for some advice. While she is taken really well to potty training twice a day, previously she was free in the yard year-round to go whenever she wanted. Now in the apartment, limited, so she has to be to 2 potty breaks in the day. When I leave the house, she won't stop barking. Just goes crazy when I go to work. I understand it's a transition, but it's very stressful for her. All this travel, she came all this way. I spent 2 weeks at home with her before I went back to work to make her feel at home. But now my neighbors are complaining. How can I help her adjust to her new home and stop the barking?
Jamie, you're asking a lot out of a 10-year-old dog.
Yeah.
You know, and
10-year-old Cocker.
and the
at
dog
that.
had run of the yard, right? Could do
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it-
yeah,
do
yeah.
what he wanted, and
Mhm.
now the dog is in an apartment
Right.
in a country where they end every sentence with a.
Uh-huh.
That's got to be terrifying. Terrifying. So it's you know what I would strongly recommend? Daycare.
Oh,
Puppy daycare.
doggy
Doggy
daycare?
daycare. And the reason why is there's a lot of stress.
Right.
You just moved a senior dog, and you can have all sorts of behavior problems as a result of just kind of a change. So what the doggy daycare will do is it'll work some energy. You know, it'll get the dog, dog be in an active environment, be able to get rid of some of that energy of having, that much of a change. And I would do that probably for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
just to get the dog acclimated to the new situation, and the dog might actually really, really like the daycare.
Because doggy daycares, they have like, and then they could kind of wean the dog for you because they have like little private rooms.
Yes, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
they could like maybe put the dog in the private room. It's like,
Sure.
okay, and it starts freaking out, and most of those doggy daycares, they're trainers. They're dog people.
Yeah,
They know you can't give in at the first bark.
And in Canada, doggy daycare is free because it's a socialist country.
Yes. It's all part of.
Yeah.
Dear Canada, we apologize greatly.
It's part of their healthcare plan, the
That's it.
Canuck Care. And no, but I would recommend.
Okay, so doggy daycare.
Doggy daycare, or have a pet sitter come in and maybe take the dog for a walk. 'Cause, man, that's a big change for any dog, let alone a senior
Someone
dog
with 10 years under their belt.
Yeah.
Man, this computer is stupid.
Yeah.
It's not agreeing with me here. I was trying to do something. All right, so the doggy daycare. We'll get her into doggy daycare. Where's my little?
Because if that dog keeps barking, it's going to become a habit, Jamie, and then
Kelly,
you're going to get kicked out of your apartment.
All right, Kelly, get thee to doggy daycare.
But you know what? Apartments are free in Canada.
Yeah, well, that's a big savings. So it's because of the healthcare.
Yes. Yes, it's a socialist
What
country.
do we?
I don't know much about Canada, so I'm guessing.
You're just kind of riffing here.
Yeah, I told you I don't know how to conduct myself.
I can't wait. All right, so we got another one here. We got more people pondering about stuff. It's a pandemic thing here. I'm living with my parents again until the pandemic is over. The biggest issue that I have is about their dog. They have a husky, and he's taking to biting me while we're both in the kitchen. Not hard. It's not really in an aggressive fashion, but I just don't like it, and I want it to stop. He's a rescue. He's a little neurotic. Training behavior out of him would take some work, but here's the problem. It's twofold. That requires both training on the dog's part and a delicate conversation with my parents. My personal opinion is they're bad dog owners. I think they're too permissive. Well, they let you move back in.
Yeah. This is in Canada.
Yeah,
right?
No. They're too permissive.
Yeah.
I'm no expert on dog training, but I'd love some input here. They don't make any attempt whatsoever in their entire history of owning dogs to train them or discipline them in any manner. As such, their dogs never seem to view them as being much of the authority figures in the house, let alone in charge and do what they're asked to do. They always have large animals as well. My parents are helpless to do anything about it. They have a 120-pound Malamute. What he likes to do is plant himself in the middle of a narrow hallway, and refuses to move. And my mother is in distress because she's got to crawl over this dog. She's helpless to do anything about it. So how can I keep their dog from nipping at me in the kitchen?
I like how the kid moves back home and just starts blaming the parents for the dog, right? Just start, their dog,
This is
dog.
awful. Freaking dog.
Okay, let's set that aside.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing, you're the guest in the house, right? And here's the fortunate thing about dogs. The interesting thing about dogs is they understand one-to-one relationships. So if you're having a problem with the dog, you should be doing the training, not the parents. Right. So there are a lot of good resources for dog training. But you mentioned that who's the guy you interviewed? Cesar Millan. Yeah. But there's also there's a lot of good training material and video material on establishing that relationship. One thing you could start doing is taking the dog for a walk on a leash. And you're going to be doing your parents a favor rather than bitching and complaining about their dog. You're going to do them a favor by taking their dog for a walk every day. You'll make a better relationship with the dog.
Are you taking the dog for a walk? Air quotes.
No,
you're actually going on a walk with the dog and building a relationship?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fair play.
Yeah. And then work in a little bit of training, get a relationship with the dog, and the dog will treat you a lot better. It's not clear from the email whether the dog is being somewhat aggressive or just too playful, or
she says not aggressive, just nipping, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and quit bitching. At least you have a place to go to during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Karen.
I don't think her name's Karen.
I could have swore you said Karen.
That's the joke.
That's the joke.
That is. Oh, I don't know how we get away with things. So there, I sent you an email, Sam. So you should have that for shenanigans later on. I didn't prepare. I thought we'd have some vets with us. So we'll be having our vets with us next week, which I'm pretty excited about.
Who we having? Anyone I know?
Yeah, Karen and Michelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Serenity.
Yeah.
They'll be cruising back in. They were coming, but at the last minute, Michelle got an emergency house call.
They're good people. I like them. They're very smart.
So yes, so we got our vets are on tap. So I have this parade of pet questions for you.
A cavalcade.
This is a long one. It's kind of a story problem.
All right.
Are you ready for it?
Let me get my notepad.
Okay. It is. It's
right.
It's a long one. I made a note here. This is a long one. I have a wonderful pup.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. I love him so much. I've had him since he was 8 weeks old. He's now 6. Ammo is a treeing. Here we go. A treeing walker coonhound blue tick coonhound mix.
Mm-hmm.
So a coonhound blue tick, whatever that
hound
means.
Dog, yeah.
All right, so hound dog. So I'm feeling defeated these past few years. The last few years I've been single. I have many problems living in this condo complex because of his behavior. I hate to admit it, but he is aggressive towards dogs in the community. But the minute we go on a hike or we're out in a park, he's the most docile dog and shows no aggression towards other dogs. He even goes to doggy daycare. He has a doggy daycare friend. He's got a best friend in doggy daycare. They play all the time. There's a pug in our complex that he loves, and he loves playing with my neighbor's dogs and my neighbor's parents' dogs and my sister's boyfriend's dogs. I just don't understand why certain dogs in our complex he gets very aggressive towards. He's only bitten one dog living in the complex, and there wasn't even any damage to the dog or his back. There was just a little nick, and that was about it. But the condo association is allowing him to stay as long as he is leashed and has a muzzle. So since that incident, rumors have spread around the complex about my big aggressive dog. It's been 2.5 years, and I get evil stares from people while I walk him. The other day, my boyfriend was walking him, and Ammo broke off his leash and charged at my friend, a neighbor, their small dog. They had a scuffle, and my boyfriend grabbed Ammo. There was no injuries, but my friend is outraged because she thought her dog was going to die. Luckily, my dog had the muzzle on. Ammo had his muzzle on, but she's conflicted. The neighbor is conflicted because she wants to report what happened, but she's scared of the dog's behavior, and she doesn't want to hurt our friendship. I've done everything possible I can do to keep him restrained and on control in our walks. I avoid people and other dogs in our complex. The incident was just an accident. But I don't think that would hold up even on Judge Judy's courtroom. My boyfriend and I know the best thing to do is to move, but the house we want to move to won't be ready for 9 months. And I'm not moving to my parents, and I'm not getting rid of my dog. He's the most amazing, loving, innocent critter you would meet. What can I do? This makes me sick to my stomach that other people look badly upon him.
All right. This person has given us enough information.
I told you it was long.
That I kind of know what's going on here.
Oh.
And I can surmise the most innocent creature. Right? Is that what she said? The most innocent creature? Yeah. You're lying to yourself. Your dog is an asshole. Okay.
But it sounds like he does okay at doggy daycare.
Well, the thing is, it's like, it's only one dog here and maybe this dog there. Oh, and then there was this other situation. I guarantee you she's underselling this aggression.
Oh, okay.
And the dog is probably a menace.
Oh.
And people look at her like, ugh, it's her again and a stupid dog. So you got to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
If people want you to move out and they're giving you odd looks, Jamie.
Yeah.
She doesn't have control of this dog.
Okay.
And if it's a big dog that's out of control, nobody wants to be around
it. Could be a big problem.
It could be a big problem, yeah. And the dog has a muzzle. So imagine someone walking a dog, you're in a condo complex or some confined area, right? And you're nervous, you're holding the dog tight. The dog is getting nervous because right on the walks where there's plenty of room, she has no problems, right?
Yeah.
It's only in these confined environments because there's been enough incidents where now the dog owner is is scared and probably holding the leash real tight. The dog is keyed up, right, and all ready to go off. So yeah, it's kind of a formula for bad behavior. What this lady needs to do is she has to come to terms with the fact that her dog's an ass and she is not helping the dog. She hasn't done everything. In fact, I listened to how I've done everything I can to restrain the dog.
Wow.
Okay. So she's probably holding the leash really tight, doing everything
clues.
wrong.
We got some good clues.
We got some
there.
good clues. So,
that's great.
So she's doing everything wrong, and it's making the problem worse, especially if it's situational. If the dog is good here and the dog is bad here, something different's happening where the
You're
dog
more
is,
relaxed in the park.
Exactly. So you need some confidence handling that dog. And if it's a big dog, you're probably holding the leash too tight because you want to get a good solid foundation if the dog lunges or something.
Right.
So you're probably looking like you're barely hanging on to this thing. So I would highly recommend, because it doesn't even sound like the dog is dog aggressive.
Yeah.
There's only some dogs that he doesn't like, but you don't have control of the dog. You need to get this dog into obedience class, and it's not a one.
Even at 6 years old.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's not just some one trick or can you tell me one thing to stop him? You need to have control, which means you need to leash break the dog. You need to get the dog walking on a loose leash at all times. These are all easy things. So this is the good part of the equation. The easy part is that this stuff is not tough at all to train the dog. So getting control of the dog is not a big deal. And but you have to. I would highly recommend you have somebody a professional dog trainer watch how you're handling the dog and have them maybe work one-on-one with you.
Okay.
Because she's not seeing it accurately. It's kind of like how every parent thinks their kid is an Einstein. Most of these kids are idiots, right? And we know that. And so. You're a teacher. You've seen this 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Underselling
Flanagan.
it, overselling it.
Yeah, Mr. Flanagan, my kid is brilliant. What are you doing to stifle his,
brilliance?
Yeah, it's brilliant. So,
I was muted.
So anyhow, so I would, I don't think this is a big problem, actually. I think this is something that's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to solve. Yeah.
And then, and if she does because you could repeat this problem in your new neighborhood. If you're because you're oh, I hope we don't have this problem in my new neighborhood. I'm going to hold them real tight.
Exactly.
And then you could ramp it up in the new neighborhood.
As a trainer, I love this kind of stuff. You know why? Because it happens so quick. You can make a transformation so fast. Yeah. These dog owners think that you're just the most brilliant.
You're the miracle worker.
Yeah. And there's oh my goodness, I had no idea it was in him. That he could act this good. And so I think this dog just needs some training, and more importantly, you. Miss Dog Owner needs a training class too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and that's often a big chunk of it is getting the owners on board with the correct behavior.
So with that long email, I didn't hear anything, any warning sign, no red flags. Right. You just need some basic stuff. Yeah. Basic stuff. Man, I could have made that much shorter answer.
Much like us, Brian.
Yeah.
Reunited, and it feels so good. There's a dog got reunited with his families 3 years later. So a Michigan owner was reunited with their dog in Illinois.
Wow.
A whiff of her old blanket was enough for Lola. The black lab was back in her owner's arms 3 years after the Michigan dog disappeared on a trip to suburban Chicago. Feels like I'm in a dream right now, said Deborah. This last Saturday, her husband Steve and the dog were reunited with Lola at the county animal shelter.
That's crazy.
Yep. Lola vanished from a fenced yard in 2017 when they were on vacation in Kalamazoo, visiting a friend. So they were from Kalamazoo. They were down in Elk Grove visiting friends, and the dog got out of the yard. So the couple returned for about a month, hoping to find the dog, and the dog was specially trained to help Deborah with seizures. So this is like a trained.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, trained support dog, too. Those dogs are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $5, $10, $20,000 for a trained up seizure dog or some sort of dog. So they tried a professional pet searcher, no luck. County authorities called them last week when a couple who'd noticed Lola for the past few years going into a forest preserve. They've been leaving food for the dog, and they finally earned her trust, and then they brought her in, and the microchip was discovered.
That is crazy.
And they called Lola. So the dog was just hanging in the forest
For 3
like,
years.
For like 3 years. So they had given up hope.
Hanging out in Illinois, it must have been cold, like winters. I mean, that's an incredible story. I mean,
I had an ounce of hope, but I guess the majority of me was thinking she was gone and crossed the Rainbow Bridge. I was completely stunned when we got the call, Deborah said. Lola wagged her tail when she smelled her old blanket. Of course, no one knows how the dog survived for the 3 years, but she did. I go, if she could talk, Deborah said, be a great story. So there you go. That's a happy little story.
That is incredible.
Because of, why?
The microchip.
The microchip, right? So our friends over at Pet Key, that's what they do, right?
They do, absolutely, yeah.
So some people still, though, aren't quite sure about microchips.
There's some misinformation about
what's people when people are like, I don't know if I want to get my dog microchipped. It's like, isn't it going to like break loose and then go to their heart and cause a there's embolism or
yeah, and then you have to call an ambulance for the embolism,
something like that.
So there are a few, I guess there's some misinformation out there about the microchip. You know what the big one is? The big one is people thinking that it's the microchip is kind of like a big brother type, like pets are just like the canary in the coal mine. Like, we're going to try this on pets, and,
right?
And then we're going to start microchipping people. And I've had a lot of people say that it's kind of an evil thing. This microchip, right?
They called you on their Alexa.
Yeah. That's right. And then there's the migration issue, which is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
But the microchip is put just below the skin. It's like a subcutaneous little thing, and it can migrate. Now it has a coating on the microchip to grab onto the tissue and to stay put, but sometimes it fails. And we found microchips that migrate from the nape of the dog's neck all the way to the dog's tail.
Wow.
And so it does happen,
but
it doesn't go into the dog's system. It just stays under the skin, and it's usually a pretty harmless thing.
Yeah. Can you like shrink yourself down and get into it? And then
I've actually seen movies where that's kind of a principal feature of the
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, there's even before that. What was it? The Incredible Voyage or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some good effects in that.
But those weren't documentaries, Jamie. So
no,
those weren't true. No, Jamie. Those were
gotta hope.
Fiction, science fiction.
You just always gotta hope for those things.
Yeah.
Well,
can you just shrink yourself down?
Well, where am I at here? Oh, that's where I'm at. Speaking of science fiction. Fact or fiction? You decide. All right, here we go. Fact or fiction? We got 3 headlines ripped from the news. 2 are true. Absolutely, positively true, as hard as it is to believe. 1 is completely false, written by me earlier when I should have been scraping the ice off my car.
I gotta hand it to you. I gotta hand it to you, Jamie. You got to wake up pretty early in the morning.
I do.
Fool me, but doesn't stop you.
Nope.
You'll try from time to time.
I'm going to try. So today, Samantha has our 3 headlines. Did you get those out of your email, dear?
I did. They're right
Yay.
here.
Let me get the rules straight. 2 are true.
2 are true.
1 is false.
One is false. You need to
false.
pick the false one.
You need to pick that false fact to get all the accolades you desire. So you're going to pick the fake fact here. Samantha,
you're going to get the
read. You're reading all 3 of them.
I'm
Sam.
reading all 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you read one in the middle?
Because
okay, fine. Okay.
It's better when it comes from you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first one, number 1, headline number 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Honeybees fend off giant hornets with animal feces.
Fend them with the feces.
Read that again.
Honeybees fend off giant hornets with animal feces.
So they're like throwing it, like monkeys do, like throwing it.
Yeah, they have arms on. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's the worst Seinfeld remake ever.
All right, that's number 1.
That's number 1.
Okay, number 2. Birds bounce off of wires because of the new 5G disruptions in the air.
They bounce off of the wires?
Bounce off of the wires because of the new 5G disruptions in the air.
Okay. All right.
Number 3. Saving a baby squirrel with smoothies and massages.
Oh, that's like the textbook way to save them. So that I know is true.
That's a way to save me, too.
Yeah.
A nice little smoothie and a massage.
Right.
I'm in.
You can save.
Call me baby squirrel.
You could save practically any animal that way. Yeah. All right. So that one's got to be true. The first one. Oh, read that first one again.
Okay. Honeybees fend off giant hornets with animal feces. Do you just want me to keep saying feces?
I think so. I think he does.
I just want you to keep saying ridiculous things. That's so strange and weird.
Yeah, but like what animal? Just as animal feces? Like what animal?
Whatever's handy.
That's a horrible headline, but it's. I'm thinking it's true. And the bouncing off the wires because of 5G.
Yes, because of 5G.
That's false as hell.
I mean, it could be a real headline.
That's the fake one. That's the fake one.
Hold your calls, America. We have a
Yeah.
What? How are you so good at this?
Yeah.
Well, because he invented 5G. Brian was the guy. Brian was the guy. He invented the 5G.
It's not real.
Oh my gosh.
Is 5G a fiction? Is 5G causing us? I don't know.
No.
Well, with my vast scientific background.
Yeah.
Remember when they said if for men, if you keep your cell phone in your front pocket, it could make you it could do all sorts of things to your
Bad stuff to your stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what they said when you put your phone up to your ear, that it could explode or something. Like,
to this day, I heard that like 20 years ago. To this day, if I drop my phone in my lap, I'm like, whoa, hey, get that out of there. Get that out of there.
wait, seriously? Where do you keep it? Your back pocket?
No, it's actually in my front pocket.
And it keeps it on vibrating.
Theater of the mind. Yeah, I mean, this stuff goes away after a while, right? I mean, okay, now 5G. Remember way back in the 70s, Jamie, microwave ovens are going to give you cancer, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
it's like there's always something that and it's always this anything new. It's going to give you cancer. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. So, yeah.
We do. It's my friends that were in that band, the Beyond the Penguin guys. They had the band house, right, and so it was all hand me down, Salvation
Secondhand.
Army furniture, and they had this microwave, and it didn't seem like the front of it. It didn't really seem like there was glass in it. It just seemed like a screen.
A screen. Yeah.
So you'd notice people would like use it. They would hit it and then like scurry out of the room.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to be in the room with it going on. Right. You feel like you need to have a lead bib on while you're doing it. It was funny. It was like funny as hell. People would like, I'm going to nuke some mac and cheese, and they're like, and they start it, and then it just you see them walk out of the room.
Yeah.
Gotta get out of
this
there.
thing it was so shady looking. It was so.
But it
so
worked.
shady looking. Oh, it worked like a charm.
But back in the day, there were a lot of things that you probably wouldn't even be legal now. That because of the cancer, carcinogens involved. I was just talking today to somebody about, hey, do you remember mimeograph machines?
Oh.
That would make copies.
Yeah.
And it was like it had the smell, some embalming fluid or something that was really, really. It's a carcinogen. You know it is.
What?
Mimeograph.
Yeah.
It's they
Get me
used
out of here.
those blue, they were
they
blue.
used to make copies with this machine and this drum and this chemical process. And,
wow.
And when it was done, all these copies for your homework or whatever,
they'd be moist.
They'd be moist. They'd be wet with this chemical that what did it smell like? It was like some kind of turpentine.
And you would smell, you get it in
smell
grade
it.
school, and you would smell it.
It made you a little high.
When did they stop doing that?
I don't know when kids, too many kids, they
Died?
No, they would get math problems wrong because they all had 6 and 7 fingers on each hand.
Oh my god!
But there's a story about a squirrel named Ted. He fell out of a tree and got hit by a car.
What
He
a
was
sweet
having
name!
he was
Oh
having
my
a-
god!
Ted was having a bad day. But luckily, a local vet and physiotherapist and squirrel conservationist was there to help with advice and treatment.
Oh, and all those people were there at the scene?
One guy, all those skills. That's the
Wait,
thing.
You mean to
one
tell me
guy?
a squirrel gets hit by a car and then there's this guy that has all these superhero the knowledge base of squirrel husbandry?
It happened to be handy.
It happened to be handy.
It's amazing. It's an amazing story. But so he taught the people rehabbing the squirrel how to give them little baby squirrel massages and how to whip up little fruit smoothies to get them back to health.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. So you can rescue a squirrel with smoothies and massages. And what he slept in, he had his old toque. He had his hat. For our Canadian friends,
Yeah.
he had his toque and he had his knit, cap, and so the squirrel would sleep in a little cap. That was Ted's bed.
I actually nursed a little squirrel back into.
Yeah, did it
Not
hurt?
not like that.
No.
But I did take some fabric and I twisted it into a little kind of a cone shape, and I would dip it in milk and let the baby squirrel kind of like suck on it, and it actually worked.
Oh.
And then somebody I worked with at the time, she worked for animal rehab, and she's like, I'll fix that squirrel up, and the squirrel lived in her backyard and would always come and visit. It was a very happy story. So squirrels are pretty resilient. The little baby squirrels, they're pretty tough.
Yeah. So that other story about the honeybees fending off the giant hornets
what's
with
that?
animal feces
Is true.
They do. Honeybees spread animal dung around the entrance of their hives to ward off the hornets, because hornets, go in and steal their
Well, that headline's pretty
larvae.
misleading.
How did they learn about this? How did they know it?
Researchers discovered honeybees in Vietnam. They collect and apply animal dung around the entrances of their hives to deter raids on their nest from giant hornets.
That's misleading.
But seriously, how do they know
it's
this?
It sure sounds like they fling dung on the hornets.
Yeah, I thought they were throwing it, but it makes more sense if a honeybee, maybe they're sitting in like a honeybee bar or something, and one of them says, I had shit on my feet, I wiped it on my welcome mat, no hornets. I swear to God.
I
Yeah,
swear to
that's
God.
how they got. That's how they
No
got.
hornets.
That's how they got through. No, and the researchers noticed that there'd be varying amounts of feces on the entrances, and the ones that had more on it were susceptible to less hornet attacks and raids.
That's
What kind
This
of-
is a biblical thing. Didn't they do that? Oh no, it was lamb's blood on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, I get these
They spread shit on the door?
I get these stories mixed up.
Honeybees, Israelites, one of the two. Something like that.
Yeah, all right.
Nothing offensive about that. Dear Jewish community, we deeply apologize. All right. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that. All our apology notes. We'll do more of those later. I got more pet queries for you, though. I do have another one here. Breed advice. Get to Googling. You gonna get your Google ready here, Brian?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I'm considering a new dog for
Yeah.
our family, but we have a hard time in deciding what breed or crossbreed might be best. So here we go. This is what we need. We live in a remote part of Wyoming, up in the mountains.
Okay.
Here are my expectations: medium to large dog, good with the family, but won't roam around, but stay with the kids. Even tempered, but willing to protect. Needs to be low maintenance. Nothing that'll bark all day and all night. Previous German Shorthairs, loved them. Something like that that'll stay by the house better, though, would be good.
I was just going to say, German short-haired sticking around the house. No, I don't see that happening.
Something that'll do that better than the German Shorthair. So a German Shorthair, like a German Shorthair setter.
Well,
So they set.
Yeah.
They don't go.
That's right.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay, so Wyoming.
Yeah.
This is the Old West.
Cold and mountainous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can be cold.
So it can be cold, it can be hot.
Yeah.
In the mountains, so that we can have bears, we can have coyotes,
Lions?
we can have wolves,
Oh boy.
Lions?
mountain lions. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, mountain lions.
I don't think they want a mountain lion.
So no, but I'm saying these are the things that are in the environment.
Okay.
These are not the options for the breed.
Oh, okay,
Jamie.
okay.
Okay.
I was like, this is a crazy list. Where can you buy these?
No, I'm
'Cause
just.
If I could get a bear.
No.
Okay?
Stay on task, Jamie.
Are you okay?
It's-
They asked for a dog.
They asked for a dog, Jamie. I'm like, okay, this is what we have to work with. These are the animals that.
Okay.
This is
the
it.
environment.
This is
I
all
got it.
they
What
have.
I'm getting at.
I'm back on track.
What I'm getting at is you need an animal that's kind of imposing.
Okay.
Okay, a good protector, but a dog that's confident, so it's not going after every little thing and barking its full head off. German Shepherd.
Ah, okay.
German Shepherds are very, very loyal, and if you live in a mountainous, rural area, kind of off on your own,
Right.
the downside of German Shepherds sometimes could be they can be too loyal and too protective. And if you live in a condo or something, you have a lot of people around, they can make some mistakes because they are very, very loyal and protective.
Okay.
So it's an ideal situation someplace like where you have a double hair coat so the dog can withstand the weather.
Yeah.
If, say, a wayward coyote comes around and gets in the garbage, it can handle that threat, right? So, something like that, something like a German Shepherd.
Like a mountain lion.
Is there some if you get the German Shepherd as a puppy, is there some sort of socialization you can do with the dog as a puppy to make him a little less, domineering, protective, but still all those other great features? Right.
Yeah,
I mean, because dogs they're bred and they are what they are.
They are what they are, and
so-
everyone has their cross to bear, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like I want a protective dog, but don't want them too protective.
Right.
So and they do tend to stay around the house too. So, if you live in a more confined area, you just need more training, and that's the other thing with German Shepherds. They're very smart.
Yeah.
Really, they take to training really quickly. And so you get a good German Shepherd, and it's a great family dog. It's a good protector. It's a good watchdog, and they stick around. They'll stay around the house.
I just hips are an issue. Is there a way to? Is it just luck of the draw with how bad their hips are?
No, and it's a really good question. It's called the certification for hips because German Shepherds are one of those breeds that are prone to hip dysplasia.
Yeah, really bad. Yeah,
and real bad. Yeah, so it's one of the worst, if not the worst breed for that. So you want to make sure that the breeder that you go to has the parents are OFA certified.
Oh,
Orthopedic Foundation of America, or
Something
for
like that.
animals, or Dodgeball Association, something
right.
like that. But it's OFA certification.
Okay.
And it'll say it right there in the pedigree.
Okay.
And good breeders who are just responsible, and they want to make sure that the dogs they're producing are good, balanced animals.
Yeah.
Will brag about their OFA
okay.
certification. So it will be a very prominent thing. So if you come across a breeder of German Shepherds that doesn't talk about OFA, go somewhere else.
Right. So and it's no guarantee, but you got a better shot.
Yeah, because it is a genetic thing,
Right.
and if you don't breed that out of the dogs, and you're going to kind of pass that on. So it's genetic. Yeah, so you want to make sure that the parents and the grandparents are clear of it.
Speaking of Wyoming and our Canadian friends, I just started watching Letterkenny, and there's a German Shepherd that plays heavily into the
Is it good?
sitcom. It's interesting.
Okay.
So I was like, because a new episode got released of this TV show Letterkenny, and when we're here in Metro Detroit, and so Canada's just south of us.
Yeah.
So it's like
South of us?
yeah, there's portions of Detroit that are north of Windsor,
Yeah.
where it kind of ducks under.
It's
So-
actually a
Oh,
trivia
yeah.
trivia pursuit question.
Yeah,
Which country
Okay, look, I'm
is
sorry.
directly south of Detroit?
yeah.
You can't say, I'm going to Canada and then go to Windsor. That's not Canada. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's
All
like,
right.
where did you go?
Let's
You
see.
didn't go anywhere.
Taking a stance on
That is
international travel.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Can't go there right now anyway. They don't want us. Trudeau's like, nope,
They do not want
forget
us.
about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want me either.
So with Canadian friends around here, and there are people in this area, have an affinity for the Canadian culture, and so new episode of Letterkenny. Everybody's all excited. I'll start watching it, and so it's just kind of sophomore humor and just fighting, and it's just
Wait a
I got a lot
minute.
of Canadian cousins, so it
Wait a
reminds
minute,
me of
wait
my
a minute.
Canadian cousins.
Lauren's daughter just told us about this over the holidays.
Oh.
And showed us a scene.
The one guy just always fighting, always squinting.
Yeah. It looked really funny in a
It's
very
pretty funny.
sophomoric way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and that's right up my alley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot about drinking.
Yeah.
It's constantly drinking. It's
Yeah.
constantly drinking and fighting. That's all it is, drinking and fighting. So, but there's a German Shepherd that plays heavily into it. So when you're saying it's like it fits into that Climate.
Yeah.
That's a climate. Is the word I was looking for.
No, you were looking for the word clarinet. The way
Yes.
your hands were flailing around.
I used to play the clarinet. I played for.
You know what? I could have guessed that.
Yeah, I do look like a clarinet. I played for like 3-4 years. So
What an awful instrument if you can't play it real well.
it was okay.
That could be just a nightmare
Yeah.
listening to someone learn clarinet.
Squidward.
All right, we got a barker. We got a barker on our hands here.
Oh no.
Not Bob either. Bob would be a good thing. So I have an 11-week
Who's Bob?
Sholly. I don't know what a Sholly is. What's a Shollie?
Well,
Like a
something
collie and a
collie.
Shih Tzu and a collie?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Sholly.
Designer
All right.
breed.
So an 11-week-old Sholly puppy barks at people and dogs. I've tried to the engage, disengage method. Doesn't work. I've tried the redirect method. Not really working. Sometimes it's hard to break her focus. I don't know what to do. Not potty issues right now. We'll get back to that. But here's what I've been doing. I give her treats and praise every time she's going out. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah. So, no, it's the barking. She was telling me about her training of the potty and how she had success. But the barking, how does she can't redirect the dog's thing, and that engage, disengage isn't working for her. So how does she get this 11-week-old puppy to start barking at people and dogs very randomly?
You know, when I train dogs on a regular basis,
Yeah.
you try to get to the problem as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And one of the red flags is someone who says, I've tried this, I've tried everything. When you try too much, Jamie, think of it as you're teaching the dog a foreign language. And, this method didn't work, this method. It's very, very confusing for the dog to begin with, so you got to stick to it. You got to stick to one thing and go with it. So I'm guessing, and if she's tried a lot of things and the dog's only 11 weeks old, then you're probably confusing the hell out of the dog because you haven't really tried anything for very long.
Right.
So you have to stick with a good protocol. Now, as far as what protocol works, getting the dog's attention is something that you can do with treats really, really easily. Now, when you expose the dog to some sort of stimuli that kind of gets him excited, you want to make sure he's hungry so that when you do offer him a treat, you have leverage on the dog, you see, because the dog's going to respond to the strongest stimuli around. So if the strongest stimuli is he wants to bark at you and bark his full head off, he's going to, that's what he's going to do. But if the strongest stimuli is he's a little bit hungry and you're offering him a little piece of cheese or something he doesn't normally get, he's going to pay attention to you. See, so it breaks his attention, but you got to have that. You got to have that leverage, and you have to have the dog on a leash, And if all else fails, you just simply, on a little buckle collar and the leash, you just walk away from whatever the dog's barking at. He's not going to keep barking because he's going to lose his balance. He's walking backwards. He doesn't know where you are, and he's going to finally, give up on barking at the person and then walk your direction. So that alone is going to solve the problem, just walking away and walking away until the dog stops. When the dog stops barking, you give him a treat. If he doesn't, you just keep walking away. Because it makes it uncomfortable for them. They're trying to bark at someone. They're being pulled back the other way.
Hey, I'm doing something here.
Yeah. So it's but you got to stick to your guns because training's about consistency.
Right. So
And
pick one method and stick with it.
Just stick with it. Yeah. There's a lot of good ways to do it, but you just got to stick to one and just keep working on it until you make some progress.
All right. Pocket full of cheese.
Pocket full of cheese and Vienna sausages.
I got a fanny pack filled with Vienna sausages. I'm hit with the ladies.
Who's bad?
Guess where we're at, Samantha?
Here.
We are here.
It's time for the bad animal joke of the week.
All right. They don't get much worse than this. Here we go. Bad animal joke of the week. Samantha, you ready for this?
I think so.
Okay. We got... what did the little Scottish dog feel when he saw the monster? What did the little Scottish dog feel? How did the little dog feel when he saw a monster?
Arg.
Terrified.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Terrier.
God.
Fine. All right.
Oh
these
my
are bad. All right. What do dogs do after they finish obedience school?
Cry.
They get their masters.
Oh my God.
All righty. What do you call a dog that is also a magician?
A dog.
Abracadabrador.
Oh That one's funny, though.
What breed of dog tells off-colored jokes? What breed of dog
Me.
tells
I don't know.
off-colored jokes? A smut.
I don't get it.
A smut. Like a mutt, but a smut. I don't know.
Wait, I have a joke.
Okay.
It's not an animal joke, though.
All right, tell it.
Why couldn't the 11-year-old get into the pirate movie?
Why?
Because it was rated R. That's a classic.
It's classically awful.
That is a classic. All right. Samantha, tell people stuff.
We are the Animal Talk podcast.
Yeah.
And you can find us at www.animaltalkradio.com.
Hey.
Our YouTube is Animal Talk TV.
It is.
Our merch site is wearingfunny.com.
It is.
There's some stuff up there that you can buy.
There's great animal prints there. Now.
There's great stuff on there. I saw it the other day. I was like, oh, I need me that. I need to get that. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Animal Talk Radio. They're all the same. You can find us on the socials.
That's
Follow
it.
us. Do the thing.
Very social.
Very social.
All right, there you go. Animal Talk Radio. Thank you for playing along. Brian, it's good to hang out, man.
Yeah, I miss you guys.
We'll do this again next week.
Yeah.
Sam, till next time, please have an exotic week.
And kiss your wild thing for me.
All right.